Hi, this is how I installed this loader on this tractor. This loader was never intended for this tractor, or if it was cut up before I got it. But I put this on a few years ago, thought I'd go over how I welded some stuff up, made it work, made the hydraulics work, and it may be something helpful for somebody else. So the tractor I have here, without the side panels, there's no description on it, but this is a long 2360, about a 1993 model. My wife's grandfather bought this new, and I ended up buying it from him probably 12, 15 years ago. Great little tractor to have. It's not fast, it's not overly powerful, but it does everything I need it to do around here. Small scale. It's always nice to have a small tractor around if you need one. But this loader that I put on is probably the most, now I don't want to say used tool, but it is one of the nicest tools I have around here. If you noticed in the beginning, I'm hobbling a little bit. I actually just had back surgery. So anything I can use to help lift helps a lot. But the intent of this is to show how I made this fit on this tractor. So a Woods 1020 loader, they make them for a long 2360. But by the time I got this one, someone else had started cutting it up and made it fit on a different tractor. So I know you're not going to have this exact same situation, but I thought this may be helpful for other people who may be doing the same thing. But typically these loaders have 3 mounting points: center, and then the back and the front. So we'll start at the back. You look here at this loader arm, this replaces the step, and it's bolted to the back of the tractor. When we get to the other side, I can show you a little better. You see how these are holes here? This is supposed to be however much longer it would take to mount to all 4 holes. Currently I only have 2 of these bolts going down through there. Hasn't been a concern. It's been like that for years. But you can see where they cut and welded it back right there to shorten it up. I want to say this, they had this loader on a long 360, and that would make sense with the way they cut this up for the steering. The steering on the 360 is completely different than this tractor. But for the price I gave for this, none of that's been a concern. But I did get my center mounts in. Front mount, I had to make something work. And I ran this for a long time without the front mount. But as I got to picking up heavier things and using caution and worried I was going to break my tractor, I figured something out. So I'm not sure where these were supposed to mount, because there was nowhere on this tractor to mount them. What I did was I ended up taking a piece of scrap iron I had around, removed the front bumper, and bolted this to it, and then welded these arms to my new homemade bumper, we'll call it. So that worked out quite well. And if I ever need to take any of this off, I can unbolt here and unbolt that piece of iron. Now I did have these sides for popping out and hitting the side of the loader. So I just took a piece of all thread, ran through it, pull them back in. Worked fine, just fine. So other side's pretty much identical. You can see I do have it bolted back there, but it's not right. I should cut and extend this, but it's been this way for years and I'm not going to change it now. The hydraulics were an issue on this, and I didn't have any way or know any way to tie it into the hydraulics other than coming back here and tying it in to those lines. But then that left a bunch of hoses running all the way around up past my brake pedals, and I had to keep the actuating lever for this tied back all the time. It also ran fairly slow. So I dug around online, couldn't really find much to tell me had anybody else done this. What I ended up doing was coming down here. I was like, I got a little mouse house. But coming here, found my hydraulic pump, and the high pressure side is going to be the steel line. Low pressure is going to be ones with rubber couplings and hose clamps on it. So found my high pressure line, went down and cut it. Went up to Tractor Supply, bought a couple cheap fittings, and just welded them on. So I have one there, You can see the other one there. Back up a little bit. But as you can probably guess, this line used to just run down straight to that line. All I did was bypass it. So now my hydraulic fluid runs through my control valves and comes back down here. If I ever want to get the loader off the tractor completely, I'll just have to make me a hose to go from here to here. It'll be just like it was before I ever put it on. Controls are controls, same as they are on every other loader. So that's how I got this loader to work on this tractor. When I bought this, it had a 6-foot pin-on bucket, which was huge for the size of this tractor. I can't imagine a long 360 held it very well. But I didn't like the pin-on bucket. Obviously, as you can see here, I like pallet forks. I've had bale spears on here. I've had a homemade log splitter. That was pretty cool. I could just drive up and sit on top of a log, pull my function valve back there, and split logs. Anyway, ordered all this, I think, from palletforks.com, and it came with the kit to do the quick connect like a Bobcat skid steer would have. These actually cut off of that 6-foot bucket that I had and welded all that up so the pins and everything would be the same, and then I could have the quick connect functions. So now I have quick connect, and I bought this plate, a similar plate, and welded it to my 6-foot bucket. I've since got a 5-foot bucket, which this tractor likes a lot more, and I do too because it's a lot lighter. But did all this when I first started welding. Didn't know if it was going to hold, but got to start somewhere. But that is how I got a loader on my tractor. Hope that helps somebody. Thanks for watching.